Yeah, so Joe's back on camera, really showcased his blue-white deck earlier. We tried to find some unfair matchups, but they're all losing today.
Yeah, there's a lot of Force of Wills and counter spells in this room today.
Yeah,
So
not surprising. That's typically what we see up here.
it is. Yeah, there's a lot of it around this area. So not surprised to see those decks again today dominating the field, basically.
Yeah.
So we watched Blue Red Prowess earlier. I'm really a big fan of this deck, honestly. And this is a little bit different build. There's no Mystic Serpent, and
Yeah.
there's no Bedlam Revelers in here. There's Trina Nemesis and Grim Lavamancer, which is kind of like bread and butter, essentially. So Paul Romine going to go ahead and lead off here on a Ponder.
How bad is mutagenic growth in this list?
Uh, Probably not unplayable, but I don't think it's a card that you like want over the rest of these cards.
Sure. Just better cards.
Yeah, I think the other cards are just better overall.
All right, so Paul leading on Ponder.
Force of Will. He's got some cards going on here. So Paul, I'm not sure what that is. Looks like he has a lot of stuff going on. There's like a Grim Lavamancer in there. It's got to be a Delver, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I would assume that looks like a
Blacked out one of the checklist cards.
checklist cards. Yeah.
Okay, Delver. And Joe's going to go ahead and brainstorm here.
Does Joe has 4 Force of Wills? I think I saw one in his hand.
Paul has one as well. So if they're fighting, it's going to be over a 1-1.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Joe's deck a little weak to flyers though, so
yeah,
it's
definitely.
important 1-1.
I agree. Joe looks like pretty tough choices ahead of him here. Let's see what Paul ends up going with.
I think the decision here is really what he wants to shuffle.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. And that's fine, and then gonna go and shuffle these away. Joe's gonna go down to 19.
If he found a swords there, we're probably letting it resolve, right?
Yeah, almost certainly. Looks like it's gonna happen. And Paul has one of those, what is it, From the Vault Transform, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the Delver goes ahead and resolves, and then Joe's got a lot of stuff going on. But he's gonna go ahead and just get Paul's land out of there, and Paul has no lands left.
Well,
is that a price of progress?
Yeah, I think it is.
The real's a price of progress.
All right, so
Not the best against 2 basic islands.
right, he does have a probe. Maybe we'll get a land this turn.
This is certainly getting,
yes.
certainly getting Flusterstormed or counterspelled or something is happening to this
I like
where
it.
Joe's going to try and stunt Paul's growth a little bit here.
I like it.
And now Paul has to decide, am I forcing this? Doesn't look like he's gonna, so he's gonna go ahead and put Joe down to 16.
Man, like, what percentage do you think you're forcing it?
Probably. I'm probably close. I'm pretty close.
Yeah, me too. Like, I need to hit my land drop, right?
I don't think I'm forcing it because I know Joe's playing Stoneforge, or excuse me, Truna Nemesis.
Sure.
And like I'm not ever winning that race, so I don't know. Like just like right now.
Yeah.
Gonna get rid of the Storm Chaser Mage probably.
We're gonna fight over this force, and then that's probably gonna be game.
You're gonna fight over the force, and then Joe's gonna force back more than likely. No?
Oh no.
Okay. Holds off.
Interesting.
So Paul's down to 16. Does not hit a land. Attacks for 3. Joe must have an answer to this Delver in hand, or else he would probably have fought there. Stoneforge missing. That one's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so Joe's in a really good spot again here. Paul just is going to have 1 permanent in play for this whole game, so it's probably not the best.
Well, and if Batterskull comes down and Paul doesn't have an answer to it, I think that's just game.
Yeah, it's just game over, yeah. It would be really great if Joe had a Jace here.
Oh, he
does have a Jace.
Wow.
Here.
Okay. So that's why I didn't fight. Paul
found a land.
Finds a land. It's a little late.
I would certainly force a Ponder here. I think he has a Ponder too, and I think Joe has a Force of Will in hand. I'm Force of Willing this 100,000,000% of the time. Paul's down to 15. It's pretty good. This is a pretty good spot for Joe to be in.
Yeah, I mean...
I think I'm probably forcing this still. this Ponder if Paul decides to go for it. I might even just force a Delver.
I think I would certainly force a Delver. I don't know if I'd force Ponder.
I would probably force a Ponder. He bricked on lands for so long.
Yeah.
It's pretty close. Like Force Will is really good. So
I feel like
just brainstorming.
I feel like
turn.
the Stoneforge with a Batterskull in hand and an adjacent play just seems like
that's fair.
Like protecting those is a little bit more important than I think my opponent getting a second land. That's how I feel anyway.
That's a good point.
Joe agrees.
Yeah, Joe's gonna go ahead and he's just gonna start brainstorming every turn. It's gonna be really tough sledding here, I think.
He drew like the perfect too, right after Jay's a fetch land. Yeah.
Another brainstorm, 2 counter spells, probably just fine.
Oh wow,
good stuff, I guess. Yeah, Joe looks like he's in really great shape here.
This is the beauty of Stoneforge too. Like you get the shuffle effect.
Shuffle these bad boys away right away. Yeah, this deck has a lot of sweet lines as far as shuffling your deck with Stoneforge Mystics, with the fetches and obviously the brainstorms and ponders. So,
yep.
a lot of tons of shuffle effects going on.
I feel like Joe's making this decision a little harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, maybe. I basically at this point you just want to figure out how to not lose the game.
Right.
And Joe's in a really dominant spot from here, so not bad to make sure. He's going to make sure, and looks like the Stoneforge Mystic's probably going to hit the table. Yep.
There we go.
Just going to shuffle away the cards he didn't want. Go get this Batterskull and say, all right, your move.
Yep. Still confirmed good.
Ooh. There's a Lightning Bolt. It gets Jace off the table, right?
Well, we hope.
It attempts to get Jace off the table. Yeah. All right.
Do you upkeep this?
This Lightning Bolt? I don't know. This is so, like, marginal. Like, you're just going to get counterspelled either way.
Yeah, but at least you force 2 mana out, and then if he wants to deploy his Batterskull, he's tapped out.
Boy, he's just going to get a Flusterstorm out of this. It'd be really bad if he had another Bolt. I think you're supposed to go ahead and play this. Yeah, maybe. I think he has a Monastery Swiftspear in hand. Maybe you're supposed to play that first as well, and just attack into the Jace. And if Joe blocks, you can bolt the Jace, and you can get the Mystic off the table as well. I think that's probably my play. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems good, actually. I like that line.
I think that's what's in his hand. If not, shame on me. But I think he also has a Grim Lavamancer.
Yeah, curious.
Yeah, there's a Swiftspear in there. Oh,
it's 2 bolts. Okay.
I mean, now you just jam it, right? You got to fire it off again. If you were firing off the first one, you got to fire off the second one. Force.
Yep.
And I think it's not great, obviously, but I think it's okay. You traded 2 for 2, basically. 2 for 3, excuse me.
A brainstorm. Yep.
Yeah, and he has another counterspell.
Makes sense when you have one on a Planeswalker.
Yep. Yeah, it's not looking great here.
Looks like a land.
I think it might have been a fetch land as well. No, it's a Tundra. Yeah, Joe's sitting pretty here. Basically, this Batterskull's going to be able to hit the field this turn.
So it goes for brainstorm here. Another
Jace
and a fetch land.
Yeah.
Shuffle away the fetches or the lands.
Yeah, not great here for Joe. Do you think he's in any trouble here?
I don't think so.
The problem is just the
how many ways does Paul have
0
to Batterskull in the main? Yeah, I think that locks it up.
If I have Bolt plus
we've already seen 2 bolts.
Bolt plus what you call it? Plus
0 Snapcaster Mages.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great here. Yeah, I think Joe's probably just stone cold favorite here. Gonna be able to play a Delver. Secret's out here on Paul's side of the table. And
looks like a Lavamancer.
Lavamancer, yep. Joe probably just gonna go ahead and deploy this Batterskull and say that's fine. There's some merit to getting rid of this, stopping this Lavamancer from hitting the table.
The Lavamancer, I'm inclined to want to counterspell.
Yeah, that's fair too. Yep, just get rid of it.
Just represents a repeatable 2 damage.
Yep. And then Joe gonna go ahead and put this Batterskull in play. As long as he remembers his trigger, this game's probably over.
And like a champ, he did.
Yep. Digging for the token. He's going to find where he put it last.
I think it's that upside down one at the very end.
Could be. Yes, it is. I believe it is.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Almost 100%.
Yeah,
boom. Finds it. Nice. Yeah, so Joe's just in dominating position here. So
it's going to be really hard. He can return Battle Scroll at instant speed. He can also like replay it with the Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah.
Once you get to 5 mana with those 2 cards in play, it's really hard to lose.
There's also another True Name Nemesis he just drew here. Bounce your door, attack you for casual 5.
Yep, 3-turn clock. I'm probably cashing in my Jace next turn too if he plays a creature, right?
Oh yeah, almost certainly.
I have a second copy.
Yeah, I'm probably just like playing this True Name Nemesis anyways. Yeah, I like this. I like just jamming on it. You're not really punished anyway,
and as long as you know the matchup, it's safe, right?
Yeah, you can assume that there's no ways to get this Batter Skull off the table other than maybe a Vapor Snag, and you just don't care if he Vapor Snags it. Good for you.
Yeah.
There's a probe. Not good. Yeah, I think Paul's probably kind of deducing that he's mostly dead at this point.
My favorite thing at the Pro Tour was when Jerry asked Rashad Miller, "Can I concede? Is it okay?" Like against Lantern. It was like game 1, I think. He had 0 outs. It was like turn 4 or something. And Jerry's like, I'm dead. Like, can we concede?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to move on. And he's like, I just want the people to know, like, I can't win from here. There's 0 chances to win. I thought it was great.
Jerry's good stuff, man. I've played against Jerry a handful of times, and I've interacted with him a bunch just kind of throughout playing on the SCG Tour a bunch, and he's just one of the more fun guys that I've interacted with. So
yeah, my favorite thing is I was playing, I think it was a Louisville SCG Open, and we're both like 6-0 or 5-0, one of the two, and we play each other, and he's on that Eldrazi blue-white winner deck, and I was playing Abzan at the time, and he just like had a chuckle with me, and we just had a really good rapport. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, super nice guy. All right, so back to our match here. Joe Bernal is up a game. No surprise again here. His sideboard we went over earlier. What do you like in this matchup from him?
I still think the Engineered Explosives is fine.
Yep.
Paul's going to have a lot of 1-mana creatures that you want to kill. Monster Whisperer, Delver Secrets, Grimflayers.
Do you want the Hydro and Pyroblast?
I definitely want the Pyroblast. The Hydroblasts are interesting.
I think I want them both.
Okay. I can get behind that. How do you like Force of Will in this match?
I don't think Force is very good. Counterspell's okay. And I think that's just like that cuts.
The other one I'm not so sure of is Consul's Judgment.
Yeah.
How many of these blue-red prowess decks, like how many true names are they usually playing? That's something that I would want to kind of look at a metagame.
Right.
If they're like on 1, I could see trimming down on Consul's Judgment.
Okay.
If they're on like 3, because it's like really good in the meta at the moment, I would like to be. I wouldn't board out any.
Sure. Over here on Paul's side, he has an Abrade, 2 Smash Smithereens, 1 Pyrokinesis. The rest of these are all one of them. So Price of Progress, a Sulfuric Vortex, a Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm, Pyroblast, Dismember, a Submerge, a Vapor Snag, a Grafdigger's Cage, and then the last 2 of is a Surgical Extractions.
Okay.
So the Abrade and Smash the Smithereens, that's 3 cards that just like really, really good against Joe's deck in general. Sulfuric Vortex is interesting.
On the play, I think it's okay. If you can get ahead early and stay ahead, it's very good.
Yeah, he has Spell Pierce and Flusterstorm. I think you have to bring that and the Pyroblast. I think you have to bring those in this matchup. It doesn't seem great, but I think you need those cards to stick threats, or else you're just not ever getting there.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Joe's bringing in his Flusterstorms as well.
Okay. And then I guess if I'm Paul, what am I removing? The Forces and Dazes are the Dazes are probably okay. The Forces are probably terrible.
I definitely want if I'm on the play, I want my Dazes in.
Okay. Do you want Price of Progress in this matchup?
I don't think so. And Joe, you could really tell, was playing around that card.
Yeah, Joe's
like,
very
He
familiar.
had 1 non-basic land.
Yeah, just 1 Tundra.
Yeah,
I think
so
just 1 Tundra.
Cut him. Get him out of there.
How many islands? 3 islands, 2 planes. Yeah, and Joe can certainly operate without playing into Price of Progress. I think Price of Progress is very good. Maybe not very good in game 1, but it's good in the unknown when your opponent doesn't know it's coming. Nowadays, it's kind of a known quantity in these blue-red decks, so I think it's lost some of its luster. It's still very good against like Grixis Delver.
Yes.
But I think it's just kind of lost some of its luster against like these blue-white Stoneblade
Yeah,
decks.
I also like it as a finisher against the 4-color control decks.
Okay. not bad. So yeah, I think honestly, I think Paul has a decent matchup here. Probably not great.
Being on the play, it's going to be about sticking something early, putting Joe on the back foot. Because if Joe gets out in front of him, it's going to be really hard to
It's
come
over
back
with.
from.
Yeah, it's definitely over with. So I'm interested to see how good the Abrade and the Smashes are. He probably needs a Delver or Swiss Spear on 1 to be in the game, which sounds kind of ludicrous to say, but I think that's just Joe's deck is just so good from playing from ahead that you're just never going to beat it.
He needs a 1-mana creature on turn 1.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And he's got a lot of them.
10 of them, yeah, 10 of them. So 4 Delvers, 4 Monster Swiss Spears, and then a pair of Grim Lavamancers. So yeah, I agree with you that he really needs to get out in front of Joe. If you give Joe time to sit back, he's going to start dropping either the Snapcaster Mages to buy everything back, or these True Nemesis, or these Stormforge Mystics going to go get the Batterskull, and the game's probably just over with at that point.
Do you think Smash Smithereens, remind me, is 2 or 3 damage?
I believe it's 3.
Okay. Is the 3 damage on Smash better than the flexibility of Abrade?
I don't think so. Overall, I don't think so.
It is 3 damage.
It is 3 damage, yeah. So overall, I don't think so.
Are there any matchups where you're racing against artifacts where the damage would matter?
Sometimes you just like this prowess deck. Sometimes you need like that 1 turn closing power. Like it's basically 4 or 5 points of damage sometimes because of your prowess creatures.
That's fair.
So I think maybe the Smash is okay in this deck, but I think overall, if you're playing something like Grixis Delver, I don't think Smash Smithereens is where you want to be. I think Abrade's just better overall. You need some help against like opposing Deathray Shamans, opposing because you grind them out, and you're opposing Delvers.
As a Death and Taxes player, that card scares me.
It's terrifying, Abrade. And with Snapcaster, it's even more nuts. Yes. So, yeah, here we go.
All right, Paul's got the turn 1.
Paul's got turn 1. I think it's a Guru Mountain, too.
I got to be honest, I don't know my Guru lands.
They
always talk about them in the PT, and I'm like, well, I don't know.
When I won that Modern 5K with Grixis, the first things I bought was a island, a swamp, and a mountain Guru
nice.
with my money. I was like, I just need one of all these. It's like,
I'm a full art, I'm a full art guy. I like it.
And there's the Hydroblast that we talked about earlier, and I think that card's really high impact in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty nice there from Joe. He goes down 19, and he just trades,
mana
for 1 mana.
Removes like half your creatures.
Yeah, and I mean, could you imagine how good that card would be against like Bedlam Reveler?
Yeah.
Storm Chaser Mage, though, that's a pretty good rip.
It's a good follow-up.
Yeah, and Paul has this aggressive curve that you and I talked about, where you need to go 1 into 2 and maybe have counter backup in order to get there. Here's another. See, that's a Guru Island as well, Brad.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
He's also playing around. So it's curious because if he has Days in hand, because he's playing around Wasteland. But if he had Days, would he have gotten Tundra or not Tundra? Volcanic last turn.
Okay. Here's the swords. Does Joe have a second land? It's a. Yeah, I think that's Joe's only land.
All right, and
there's the Pyroblast.
Pyroblast deals with the blue-red creature.
Yeah, I think these Pyroblast and Hydroblast are just going to be nuts in this matchup. It's just you're trading. You're efficient. You're so efficient against everything they're doing. And it looks like Paul has a Delver of Secrets and no land though.
Does look like he has a volcanic, but he doesn't want to play it into the Wasteland. What part of you just plays it though?
I'm playing it. If
he wastes me, I'm happy about it, right?
Yeah, if Joe's not playing a dual land to get white online, I'm okay with that. That's fine.
Or not like playing True Name this turn.
And if not playing True Name this turn, yeah. If you want to trade for the lands, that's okay with me, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So Joe is going to go ahead and brainstorm here.
We will be posting top 8 lists. Or is it top 8 or do they do top 16?
Top 8 currently.
Just top 8, okay. So yeah, we'll post top 8 lists after the tournament.
Yeah, now Joe finds this Arid Mesa in order. Now he has Swords to Plowshares available. So I think Joe's in a great spot again.
Oh yeah, I mean just 1 mana for both your early threats.
Yep. Joe is going to have paid 3 mana to kill all 3 of Paul's. They've traded 1 for 1, and that's really, really good for the Jace deck, believe it or not. And the,
Yeah.
We're going to trade 1 for 1 for a little bit, and that's about it. So Paul looks like he's kind of on empty here. He's got a Daze.
Looks like he might have a Red Elemental Blast.
A Red Elemental Blast. It would be really good. Not so good against Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, I mean it's it's not helping him protect his own creatures.
Right.
But it certainly is going to help him when this Jace tries to come online.
Huh.
I wonder how patient Joe will be. I assume pretty patient. Watching him play, he seems like the kind of person who's like, you know what, I'll win eventually.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm at 18, 17, I guess. He's at 17. He fetched.
Yeah, I think it's okay to wait on this trop at this point now because you're just like at this point where you want, if you hit a True Nemesis, you want to be able to jam it on the turn you hit it. So Joe's just Snapcaster Mage.
Oh man.
He just needs another colored source.
Yeah, that is a problem.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Brainstorm.
And this is where Paul, like, I think he really wanted to play the Volcanic.
Okay.
You know, like you're clearly stuck on some colored mana. Wasteland me.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I like jamming, and if you miss, jam into me. Stoneforge.
Looks like he's still gonna miss. There's 0 lands in these.
Yeah. So Joe has a Stoneforge there, which can shuffle, but he's in a really bad spot.
Looks like he had 2 Stoneforges.
Okay.
So
Joe has 24 lands. I think we discussed earlier. So he's close to getting there. And yeah, this is pretty good. I think you gotta. I don't know. This is tough.
Certainly getting Batterskull here again.
Yeah, definitely a Batterskull. So down to 17. Going to dig for this Batterskull.
He wants Jet.
Jet, okay.
Batterskull will be a higher impact later when he gets closer to the 5 mana mark.
Yeah.
It's possible that he's expecting this to die.
Yep, that's also
wants
fair.
to deploy the Jet.
All right.
But I do feel like Joe's a ways off from actually putting this shit on the field.
It's gonna be
I think it's a Hydroblast.
Hydroblast again? I don't know if I'm using a Hydroblast on this bolt here. It's close.
If I had Batterskull, if I had gotten Batterskull, I think it leans me a little bit to using it. But with the Jet, I think you just
I like the restraint Joe showed there. And here's a Ponder. See, this is a better use for this, I think, too. If you have a blast here, I think you want to try and hit this Ponder if you can. Save your mana and be able to blast it, but he doesn't. Paul really needs a threat, and he really needs one now.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be uphill sled in the rest of the game.
All right. Well, he kept the cards.
It's a Swift Spear. Okay. I mean, that's a card.
Yeah. I mean, it's also gonna reward Joe for keeping that Hydroblast.
Yeah, it's gonna connect. Put Joe down to 16, I believe. Yeah, and Joe has a swords in his hand.
Ooh, he found the...
Smartly, he's playing around days, though.
Yeah.
He played around days there. Yeah, Joe's plays super tight today. You're not getting a lot past him, and that's why he's definitely my favorite to win this whole thing. Is Joe? So most people would just like try to get rid of that Swift Spear right away. There, trying to be mana efficient, and you've got it blown out by days.
Yep.
And Joe just diagnosed he's not under a lot of pressure. It's a 16. I mean, that's a lot. Yep.
We doing anything in response to this brainstorm?
So the Snapcaster's kind of appealing. You can also plow. Yeah, plowing here is also good. So now Joe has Snapcaster plus the blasts available as well. So that's pretty good. And now he's going to put him up to 21, excuse me.
So still responding.
Yeah.
Going to go for the blast here.
We're going to try and blast this thing. I don't hate it at all. You know Paul's just kind of floundering around right now, not really doing much. So if you can stunt his growth here, I think it's great. And yeah, so Snapcaster resolves. Joe could reasonably pick Brainstorm here too.
I was gonna say he doesn't have to go for this.
Yeah, I love this line though. Just get aggressive. Pyroblasting cantrips. I mean, that's great for Paul right there. Because that Daze wasn't really doing anything the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So he got a little bit of value out of it.
See a Delver.
Yeah, you have to keep this Delver, and he's got a.
Does Paul? Last list we had, there was some Revelers.
Yes, this one has no Revelers. This one
Revelers.
has foregone the Revelers for True Nemesis and Grim Lavamancers.
Okay.
Which I think is the more standard build.
The Revelers were definitely odd to see.
Yeah.
Like I said, might have been a Pro Tour thing.
Could have been. Heavily influenced.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's this Delver. But Joe's really firmly in command here. It looks like he has another Snapcaster in hand as well. And he has this... I mean, he just has this Umezawa's Jit.
Yeah, I think he's like 1 mana away from deploying it. It looks like he drew a land. He might actually go for the Jit this turn.
What does he got? Oh, does he have a Swords in hand? So if he has a Swords, he can connect right away, and this game's probably sewn up.
He does tap himself out to go for that line, though. I think this is the more conservative
really
line.
Yeah, this is really great. I don't hate this either. Yeah, Joe's just played this game really well. And Flusterstorming this, you can't pay for it. Here's this. We're going to plow your guy. Yeah, this is all bad for Paul.
I love that he played the land before plowing.
Yep, very nice. Play around days again. So Paul's going to go up, and then he's going to take it again. So he's going to stay.
So is Joe's hand True Name Jit?
True Name Jit, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Probably fine against the stick.
Deal with the board I already have, and then I have this insane follow-up.
Yeah, Paul's down to 19, and I think he has a Price of Progress in hand, and a Chain Lightning, I think is the 2 cards he has.
Okay. Interestingly enough, Price of Progress stayed in.
Good now.
And it is good this game.
Yeah.
So what if Joe assumed that Paul would board it out and just went for the perfect mana?
I thought it was a Price of Progress. I could be wrong, though. I thought it was. Let's see. I think that is on the end there. It
might be, yeah.
We're paying mana for Gitaxian Probe. That's where we sum to in life.
Never where you want to be.
And he knew about the Jit, and now he knows about the True Name Nemesis, which is terrible.
And I feel like the writing's on the wall. Like, I'm terrified if I'm Paul.
Yeah. Those are all bad. Like a Lightning Bolt, another Gitaxian Probe, and a land, I believe it was. So, not great.
Yep.
Shuffle them up. Hope to find anything that's better than this. Again, I'm not really sure what Paul's drawing to at this point.
I mean,
Forked Bolt is really good for here.
Knowing the cards in Joe's hand, he could stick a True Name next turn, which would at least hold the snaps back.
Yeah. What was that, a Braid? Yeah, it was in a Braid.
So used to seeing the promo art of Braids.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not looking good here on Paul's end.
Looks like Joe drew Wasteland.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It insulates you against this Price of Progress as well. If it is a Price of Progress. We're not even 100% sure that it is.
One thing I like about how he left his mana open, or I guess that Paul didn't leave his mana open, he left himself susceptible to getting Wastelanded and then this Jit like going on the field.
Yes.
If he would have left Mountain Island open, he could have always had the Abraded.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe's just giving him a clinic here, basically.
Yep.
Smash.
Smash, okay. Take 3.
Yep.
It looks
so
like
going to go to 17.
Joe's gaining a life using the counters.
Yep.
And Paul has 0 ways to interact with this.
Paul's going down to 11. Yeah,
True Name post board.
Not great here. Going down to 11 for Paul. And Joe looks like he's gonna move. He's gonna move to 5-0 on the day.
Yeah, should be able
to draw in.
Draw into top 8.
Certainly looks that way.
Pretty solid start.
Yeah. And Paul had a pretty tough game here. This is a tough draw.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Lavamancer Joe doesn't really care about.
When your opponent goes 1 mana removal spell, 1 mana removal spell, 1 mana removal spell,
Joe just has another True Name Nemesis. I mean, he's playing.
What's it
4.
like, Joe?
He's playing 4, so like, I guess it's fine.
That is true. Card is so good.
That is a lot, but it's very good.
Pitches the Force Will.
Is it a? No, it's a Snapcaster. Not. It's much better than True Name Nemesis in this position. He's got a Hydroblast in there. Bam.
The world is your oyster,
so,
Joe.
Put you to 4.
And
I just believe he's just actually just dead. No matter what. Yep. All right.
There it is.
Paul goes ahead and concedes to Joe. Joe going to move on to 5-0.
Yeah.
5-0.
5-0.
5-0 in our tournament. So
sweet.
Really nice game there by Joe. I don't know what this matchup generally is like, but it really felt awful.
It did not. Both times we saw today, it did not look good for the blue red deck.
Yeah, just the blue white deck that Joe's playing is just very efficient and post board with the Hydroblast and the Pyroblast. I think he's going up to how many Pyroblasts total?
Just 2 for Joe's list. We
Okay,
saw a
so-
list earlier that played a full 4 copies.
Yeah,
But
so he just has a bunch of 1-mana. He has up to 8 1-mana removal spells at some point, and he has engineered explosives. Like,
yes,
it just feels really atrocious.
I almost wonder if the engineered explosives weren't in the deck.
They might not have been, because
Yeah.
your matchup might be good enough where you just
Yeah.
don't care. But yeah, tough loss for Paul Romine, but he's got a couple more to battle in.
Yep.
Good win for Joe. He's almost all but secured himself into the top 8, so congrats to Joe. He's played really well all day, so
Yeah, well deserved.
it's good stuff. Yeah. So we have about 20 minutes left here. Did you want to try and get a feature match, or are we eating lunch now?
I think we gotta eat lunch.
Okay, we're going to eat lunch, guys. We'll be back in probably about 15 or 20 minutes. Make sure to give our channel a follow and also follow us on Twitter. We tweet every single round as it comes up. So we will tweet again here in a minute. If not, just hang out with us and we'll be back here shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. See you guys soon.